Welcome back to another video, guys. Today, Nick and I are loading up the car and we're heading back to Kansas. We went out there in September for opening day and we got on a good number of deer, saw quite a few bucks, but we didn't get anything killed. So I still got that tag in my pocket. I shot 2 bucks here in Iowa a couple weeks ago, so this is the only tag I've got right now. It's October 29th today, so things should be ramping up out there. It's gonna be pretty warm, it looks like, with highs in the 70s. So not super ideal conditions, but it's getting to be that time of year. First week of November's coming up. They should be starting to feel it pretty good right now. We've been driving around here the last couple afternoons and seeing a good number of bucks. But Nick just got back to the house. He was up in Wisconsin hunting with Jake, and then he went down to Missouri and hunted with Hayden for a few days, and now I'm gonna drag him all the way over to Kansas. So whenever we can get all of our crap together and get it loaded in that little car over there, we're gonna head that way. Last time we were in Kansas was a couple years ago with Jake. He had a tag, and I think he killed his on November the 12th, so a couple weeks from now, but I don't have anything to be back for, so I'm hoping to just stay out there until we get something killed. Let's go to Kansas and see what we can get into. How's your last couple weeks gone?
It's gone good. I didn't know what you were doing. I thought you were just slipping up on me.
Slipping around.
Man, I even got my dirty underwear out here.
Looks like you're well organized.
Yeah, I mean, everything is in a specific spot.
Organized piles.
Yeah, it's organized chaos is what I would call it. So there's a method to it. A little light hunting in Wisconsin, a little light hunting in Missouri, and now we're gonna zip on down the road to Kansas.
Tire maintenance before we can leave.
Fill her up just once quick.
Yep. Once right quick.
Once right quick once. Follow for more car maintenance tips with Ted Zangerly. Link below.
I already showed you how to change a battery. Now you see how to fill a tire. You ever do graffiti?
No, I put my artistic talents elsewhere.
Oh, yeah. I was just wondering. We made it to our camping spot. Nobody else around other than some people over there fishing, so that's good. Doesn't feel as warm as I thought it was gonna feel.
You're talking about hot.
Feels pretty good.
This is good weather. Hey, psst.
Psst. Feels pretty good.
Feels like a good day to kill one.
I reckon so, Let's go find some deer, huh?
A good one, a good deer.
A good deer. Yep. Alright guys, we just went and got camp set up.
Hey! Glad you're with us.
This is the area that Keith and I ended the trip back in September. Saw a lot of deer and definitely a few shooters. We haven't seen anybody out and about in this area yet. Oh, holy crap, look at all them turkeys. Man, we was just talking about how turkeys in Kansas were on the downfall, but it ain't looking that way.
They appear to have had a pretty successful hatch.
Nick and I are gonna do some cruising around. There's tons of area we can hunt in these units that I got, so we're gonna start here for the first day or two, see if we can get on something, and if this spot fails, then we'll pick up camp and move and keep poking around until we find something. That's the plan.
Slinking away.
What up?
Not much. Sitting here watching people go across from our camp spot.
Yeah, in our honey hole.
Going hunting.
I guess we gotta figure something else out.
I guess so. I think we saw 5 or 6 trucks driving around last night, and then woke up this morning. There's a guy going across this water over here. Another guy back here behind our tents walking in.
I didn't hear anybody ask permission either.
No. Didn't they see our tents here?
Crazy.
Unreal.
Oh well.
Alright, Nick and I got up this morning and we ended up packing up camp. We ended up throwing everything back in the car because we ran into a bunch of people even on these smaller pieces of public. So we're cutting ties with that area. We packed everything up and we're heading to a different part of these units. We got some spots marked last night that we were interested in. and we're gonna go check him out this morning. It's October 30th, so we should be seeing some rut in action here in the next couple days, I would think. Just driving around. Real nice buck. Looks like he's gimping almost. He ain't far. I mean, he's a little way from public, but we're on the right track. No. Right over the crest.
I can see he's coming.
Dang, he's pretty big. He's bigger than what I thought he was when I first saw him.
Yeah, me too.
Out there licking on telephone poles, rubbing a telephone pole right now. What? That's awesome. That's awesome. He just fired up. He looked like he was just cruising along that top there, and then he was had his nose up and acted like he was cruising. Oh man, Nick. That is what we are talking about.
That smells good, boy.
We'll see you later, old son.
Get you on a flippity flop.
See you when you're on the pub.
Look at this scoundrel. Just as happy as could be. Oh, you went with another wrap.
Keep gorging ourselves until the rut finally kicks in.
Just about staying alive, really. I went with this little special treat here.
Waiting to pair.
Yep. That's a no-brainer. Maybe if we kill something, we'll come over here to this DQ, get us some ice cream.
Oh, you wouldn't spoil me like that.
We gotta kill something first.
Oh, we better kill one because I want a dilly bar or a dip
I
cone.
want a malt. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want some of that caramel malt. Oh, baby. What?
He's a good one.
He's a good one. We're in a completely new area this afternoon. Nick and I got up this morning and we went to Glass where we saw that buck with big brow tines and where we had seen several other deer. That was about 30 miles from here. We ended up driving around a good amount this morning and saw 3 different trucks out of state, close to where we saw that big one last night. We're not totally writing that spot off. We just wanted to get out and explore a few different areas, try and get eyes on a few different bucks on public. Today and the next couple days are going to be pretty warm, getting up to close to 80 degrees for highs, so not ideal for hunting. So the idea is to use these days to scout as much as we can, try and find a bunch of different bucks on public that we can bounce to once the weather gets right. I think on Friday the high gets down to 50 degrees, so a huge temperature drop coming up. And that'll be like November 4th, so it should be really prime hunting by then. Our plan for today was to Glass where we saw those bucks last night and then dive in there somewhere this afternoon and try and hunt them. But after we saw those trucks, we just decided, you know what, let's stay mobile and go check out some different areas. So that's what we did. We got down to this area and we got up on a real high knob here, and within 10 minutes I spotted a buck down in one of these drainages with all these cedars. As you can tell, this habitat and terrain is a lot different from where we were at yesterday. This stuff has a lot more hills in it. It's got, you know, these yucca plants, just looks a lot more western out here. But there's whitetails in it. I got a doe bedded on the opposite hillside about 100 yards away from me. I climbed up this ridge, got up top where I can see down into some of this bottom ground and on some of these side hills. Nick is at that same glassing spot where I saw that buck earlier today. We didn't get any footage of him because I just saw him going from one cedar patch to the next. He's over there, then we'll go from there. And just trying to keep building up our options as we get closer and closer to better weather. We've been running into people for the last 2.5 days. Obviously it's prime time for people to be out. It's, you know, late October going into November, which is usually when people take their rut vacation. On the flip side though, Kansas has very limited public land, so we're all looking at pretty limited stuff as far as access goes, so makes sense why we're running into this many people. Little spike over there, he's right above where that doe was bedded earlier. I believe that's a buck with a doe right there. Looks like a real small one to me, but here comes my ride. What up, Nick? What'd you find out?
You like shooter 10 points or
Absolutely.
not?
I absolutely do.
Well, then I think I got one picked out for you.
Alright, that's what I like to hear. I saw a pile of deer, but they were all like so far out I couldn't really tell what they were. I did see one for sure buck, but it was pretty small, it looked like.
Yeah.
But
I saw 4 does. One of them's hot and has 2 bucks with her. Or
Really?
1 buck with her for sure, and I'm pretty sure a bigger one ran off the 10 that I was watching.
heck yeah.
But it was so... I was facing due west, and it just got to where, like, it was nothing but red haze inside of the spot and scope when this other buck came out. So it was like I couldn't tell, never could get anything of it. But I got plenty of video of this other one.
Heck yeah, well,
So
we're on them.
it's a start.
It's a start. Taco meat and sausage and backstrap.
It's a leftover. It's a goulash, and we're gonna put it in a tortilla, and it'll eat cheese and hot sauce, and it'll be just fine.
It's gonna
It's
be.
not traditional, but it's gonna be good. I know that.
Oh yeah,
It'll be
it's
the
gonna
first thing hot we ate all day.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, sir. We got the little wind blocker right here going on.
It's a touch breezy.
A lot of wind coming in. We're gonna have like 20-mile-an-hour wind tomorrow. Living the life.
Livin.
Makes you wonder what the poor people are doing
I'll
today.
tell you what one of them's doing right now. He's got a spatula in his hand.
The other one's got a phone in his hand.
Here you are, sir.
Thank you. See you guys in the morning.
I guess they're not sitting there glassing. They're not in there.
They're out of their cars, aren't they? Right in our spot.
It's a rodeo. Complete goat roping.
Find a buck one night, 2 guys in there the next morning.
1 step forward, 2 steps back. Just got to get on the other side and see what we can see. That really just cooks my grits.
Does it?
Not that bad. Just being dramatic.
Wish we had some grits right now.
Yeah.
Nice buck. See him?
Yep. 2 of them there, ain't it?
Yeah, the one on the right is small. One on the left ain't that big, but he's big bodied. Close to public though.
Peace be with you, boys.
Maybe we'll see you later on public ground instead. Not too far from it, but a little ways from it. Good to see though.
Mm-hmm.
They're out and about. We're finally diving into a spot here in Kansas. Nick and I had plans to glass an area where he had seen a shooter last night. We were going to go there this morning and glass, but there were some people in that spot, so we stuck to the road again this morning, driving around glassing, and that's what led us to this spot. We were driving along, looked over, there was a real nice buck standing just on the other side of this river. It was him and a smaller buck standing there about 9 o'clock this morning. So it's noon right now. We're working our way up into this piece. We've already ran into quite a bit of deer sign. Lots of tracks, a few rubs. The plan for the middle part of the day here is to just get out on a little glassing knob that's looking over this river, see if we can get eyes on something. This is day 3.5 in Kansas. We haven't been on a hunt yet. We've been itching to get out of that car, but there's been a lot more people here than we expected. quite a bit of hunting pressure, and there's not a ton of spots that you can just dive off into and scout your way in and hunt, because most of the pieces are real small in size. You kind of got to pick your way around, look for a spot like this where you know there's some deer and there's a little bit of room to work with to get in here and, you know, make a play on them. So that's what we're doing today. We ended up just down this river a little ways where we can see into some of this brush at a little bit different angle. We can actually see, you know, a lot more of the river bottom from right here, it seems like. It's going on about 5:30 right now, so we got an hour and a half till dark. It seems like there's quite a few deer in this area, and not a lot of hunting pressure either. We haven't seen any sign of hunters throughout this piece while we've been in here. Little buck getting a drink out of the creek. He ain't as small as I thought he was. It's a pretty nice buck, actually.
Looks like that one that was with that other buck we saw this morning.
Yeah. Bunch of deer just started showing up. We've seen one decent buck and probably 4 or 5 does. Okay. There's a doe right here. A couple does right down here in the creek in front of us. Here's another deer. Little spike buck over here, my favorite. Yeah, the buck pushing that front one around.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I can't tell nothing about him though. But he's definitely pushing that deer. Yeah, he's pushing it again. Well, that's gonna do it for tonight. We didn't see much for deer until right there about the last 45 minutes or so. And then deer started flooding out. Seemed like a lot of them were bedded up in this river bottom grass, which is what we were assuming. But with it being so hot, they didn't move much until right there at the end. I think we saw 2 or 3 bucks and a bunch of does in here. We're gonna go back to the car, get something to eat, and go back to camp, regroup, and come up with a plan for tomorrow. It's been kind of a slow start here in Kansas, but we're picking away at them and starting to figure some stuff out.
What do we got here?
We got a dead car battery. Deader than a mackerel.
I mean, DED. She's gone. What do you plan to do for this here?
I got some jumper cables and I got this Dakota lithium battery in here, so maybe we can get her going with that.
Dakota to save the day. Many, many good things. The dome lights are on. That'll do it. It's not just a Honda, Ted. It's a home.
It is this time of year. That's for sure.
See how you do this. This Dakota lithium power box. Lifestyle of the rich and famous.
Yeah.
Lights are on. Make sure to click them things off. And we're up. Right on, Dakota lithium box.
Kindly.
We thank you in our time of need and struggle.